Welcome back to the show, folks. Today we're diving deep into the world of martial arts, exploring two distinct and fascinating disciplines, capoeira and karate. Picture this. Brazil's vibrant energy meets Japan's disciplined tradition. It's a clash of styles, a dance of power and precision. Capoeira, born on the streets of Brazil, is a whirlwind of movement. Imagine acrobatic kicks, fluid dodges, all set to the rhythm of music. It's a martial art disguised as a dance, confusing opponents with its unpredictability. Now, shift your focus to the Far East, where karate reigns supreme. This Japanese art form is all about focused power. Think lightning-fast strikes, rock-solid stances, and an emphasis on devastating blows. Two distinct styles, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. Today we're breaking down the walls between them to see what happens when these worlds collide. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty, folks. Capoeira and karate might both be martial arts, but their approaches are worlds apart. It's like comparing a river to a lightning strike. One's all about constant motion, the other about focused power. Capoeira is a game of deception. Practitioners, known as capoeiristas, use their entire bodies as weapons. They flow from one movement to the next, keeping their opponents guessing. It's about agility, timing, and using your opponent's energy against them. Karate, on the other hand, is about directness. Karatekas train for years to deliver precise, powerful strikes. They use linear movements, focusing their energy on specific targets. It's about discipline, technique, and breaking down your opponent with focused force. Imagine a capoeirista circling their opponent, a whirlwind of kicks and dodges. Now picture a karateka standing firm, waiting for the perfect moment to unleash a devastating blow. It's a fascinating contrast, and the outcome of a fight between these styles would depend on a lot of factors. Alright, fight fans, let's get ready to rumble. The excitement in the air is palpable as we gear up for an electrifying showdown. It's time to put our theories to the test with a hypothetical 3-round match. This is where skill, strategy, and sheer willpower come into play. In one corner we have the capoeirista, a master of movement and deception. Their fluidity and rhythm are unmatched, making them a formidable opponent. In the other, the karateka, trained in precision and power. Their strikes are calculated and devastating, a true testament to their discipline. The bell rings and the capoeirista immediately goes on the offensive, using their agility to circle their opponent. Their movements are almost dance-like, mesmerizing the crowd. They launch a series of low kicks, keeping the karateka on the defensive. Each kick is precise, aimed to disrupt the karateka's stance. The karateka struggles to land a clean strike, frustrated by their opponent's constant movement. It's a test of patience and adaptability. The karateka starts to adapt, using their longer reach to keep the capoeirista at bay. They extend their arms, throwing straight punches to create distance. They focus on straight punches and kicks, aiming for the body. Each strike is delivered with precision, targeting the capoeirista's core. The capoeirista is forced to slow down, their movements becoming more calculated. They are now looking for openings, planning their next move carefully. Both fighters are feeling the pressure. The intensity of the match is taking its toll, but neither is willing to back down. The capoeirista lands a spinning kick, but the karateka counters with a powerful punch. It's a clash of styles, each showcasing their strengths. The fight goes back and forth, a blur of kicks, punches, and dodges. The crowd is on the edge of their seats, witnessing a true battle of skill. Who wins? It's a tough call, folks. Both fighters have shown incredible prowess and determination. Each round highlights the strengths and weaknesses of each style. The capoeirista's agility versus the karateka's power creates a dynamic and unpredictable match. The capoeirista's agility is a huge advantage, but the karateka's power can't be underestimated. It's a testament to the diversity and richness of martial arts. So we've seen the clash of styles, the back-and-forth struggle, the intense competition between capoeira and karate. But what does it all mean? What can we learn from these encounters? Is one style inherently better than the other? Can we definitively say that capoeira trumps karate, or vice versa? The answer, my friends, is not so simple. It's a complex web of techniques, strategies, and philosophies. In the world of martial arts, adaptability reigns supreme. The ability to adjust and evolve is crucial. A skilled fighter isn't limited by their style. They use it as a foundation, a starting point. From there, they build and expand their repertoire. The key is to adapt to your opponent, to exploit their weaknesses, and neutralize their strengths. It's about reading the situation and responding accordingly. A smart capoeirista would recognize the power of the karateka's strikes and avoid direct confrontations. They'd use their fluid movements to stay out of harm's way. They'd use their agility to create openings, to strike when the karateka least expects it. It's about timing and precision. Likewise, a skilled karateka would learn to anticipate the capoeirista's movements, to cut off their angles and counter their kicks. They'd use their training to predict and react. They'd use their power to dictate the pace of the fight, forcing the capoeirista to react. Controlling the tempo is key. It's a chess match, folks, a constant game of adjustments and counter-adjustments. Each move is calculated, each response measured. The fighter who can adapt the fastest, who can think on their feet and exploit their opponent's weaknesses, that's the one who's going to come out on top. It's not just about strength or speed, but about intelligence and adaptability. Now let's not get caught up in just the physicality of it all. Martial arts at their core are about more than just fighting. They're about discipline, respect, and self-improvement. Capoeira, born from the struggles of enslaved people, is a testament to the human spirit's resilience. It's about finding freedom through movement, about turning oppression into art. Karate, steeped in Japanese tradition, emphasizes honor and self-control. It's about channeling your energy, focusing your mind and body to achieve mastery. Both styles teach valuable life lessons about perseverance, dedication, and the importance of pushing yourself beyond your limits. They instill a sense of confidence, a belief in your own abilities. So, while the hypothetical fight is interesting, it's important to remember that the true value of martial arts extends far beyond the ring. Here's a thought that gets me really fired up. What if we stopped thinking about styles as separate entities? What if we embrace the idea of fusion, of blending the best aspects of different disciplines? Imagine a fighter who moves with the fluidity of a capoeirista, but strikes with the power of a karateka. They'd be a force to be reckoned with, a true hybrid martial artist. We're already seeing this kind of cross-pollination in mixed martial arts where fighters incorporate techniques from various disciplines. But imagine taking it a step further, creating a truly seamless blend of styles. The possibilities are endless, folks. By breaking down the walls between disciplines, we can push the boundaries of martial arts and unlock new levels of skill and athleticism. Let's talk about the experience of combat, the adrenaline, the anticipation, and the sheer intensity of the moment. It's the moment when all the training, the sweat, and the countless hours of preparation culminate in a face-off. In karate, the transition from training to combat is often marked by a sense of formality. There's a bow, a gesture that signifies respect and readiness. This moment of respect for your opponent before the fight begins is crucial. It's a reminder that even in competition, there's a code of conduct, a sense of honor that must be upheld. Capoeira, on the other hand, often blurs the lines between ritual and reality. The rota, the circle where capoeiristas face off, is a dynamic space where music, movement, and combat intertwine seamlessly. It's a celebration of skill and creativity, where the rhythm of the music guides the flow of the fight. The rota is not just a battleground, it's a stage for artistic expression. The energy of the crowd fuels the fighters, creating an electrifying atmosphere. MMA, with its emphasis on realism and raw power, strips away much of the ritual, focusing instead on the raw intensity and the primal nature of the fight. The walkout, a moment filled with anticipation and tension, the roar of the crowd, the deafening cheers, and the clanging of the cage door, all these elements contribute to a sensory overload. It's designed to test a fighter's mental fortitude, pushing them to their limits. Each approach to combat has its own unique energy, its own rhythm and style, its own way of preparing the fighter for the physical and mental demands of the fight. Whether it's the honor-bound traditions of karate, the rhythmic dance of capoeira, or the raw intensity of MMA, each discipline offers a distinct path to mastering the art of combat. One of the things I find most fascinating about martial arts is that they're not static. They're constantly evolving, adapting to new challenges and incorporating new knowledge. What worked on the battlefields of feudal Japan might not be as effective in the modern world. The techniques that allowed capoeiristas to survive slavery have been refined and adapted for the ring and the street. Today, we have access to a wealth of information about human physiology, biomechanics, and psychology. We can analyze movement patterns, study the effects of strikes, and develop training methods that optimize performance. This constant evolution is what keeps martial arts exciting. It's a never-ending journey of discovery, a quest to push the limits of human potential. So, after all this talk of comparisons and hypothetical fights, where do we stand? Which style reigns supreme? The truth is, folks, there's no easy answer. Each martial art has its own unique beauty, its own set of strengths and weaknesses. The best style is the one that resonates with you, the one that you're willing to put in the time and effort to master. What's important is the journey, the dedication to self-improvement, the pursuit of excellence. Whether you're drawn to the fluidity of capoeira or the power of karate, the key is to find a style that speaks to your soul and embrace it fully. So let's celebrate the diversity of martial arts, the rich tapestry of styles and techniques that have been passed down through generations. Let's continue to learn, to grow, and to push the boundaries of what's possible. That's it for today, folks. Keep training, stay curious, and remember, the journey is the reward.